Hi guys, and welcome back to another Let's Build episode. So last time we finished up the fishing harbour of Whitecrest, and in this episode we're going to get into the main area of Smithshaven. Now if you guys are new to the channel at all, we do a lot of tutorials and time-lapses just like this one, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also guys, if you're interested in more of these Let's Build episodes, I'll leave a link in the card above to both the full Let's Build Pataria series and also full Let's Build Lordsport series. Anyway, let's get into some building. So the kind of area that we're actually going to be building in is this small area that just kind of borders onto East Point, and we actually had that really small kind of marketplace at the back, and I thought, okay, well let's start actually building a couple buildings around this. We can also flesh out that area. But one of the kind of comments that I picked out was from Nis for Night Owl, and that was from one of my earlier episodes to talk about, you know, including some carpenters and wheelwrights and masons and kind of storage areas, things like that. So I'm actually going to be kind of focusing this part of it on carpenters. And from doing a bit of research, carpentry in a medieval city seems to be the second most kind of populous profession, but it does cover everything from, you know, building buildings and cutting up planks and making firewood, all of that kind of stuff. It seems to be quite a broad category, but you know, it makes a lot of sense that in a city you're going to need all of those kind of bits and pieces, repair work, also getting hired for public works, everything. It's crazy. So this kind of little area here is going to be like a little Carpenters Corner. Now what I wanted to do with these buildings, of course we've got new blocks to play around with, lots of the new slate stuff, the deep slate stuff, and I call it new, and that's only because it took me so long to upgrade the server, so I wanted to really use that. I wanted to use the calcite blocks, mix those in, but I also wanted to start to dull out the colours. Because we're going into this industrial area, I want to have more plainer colours and less vibrant, less bright, and the other thing I want to do is start in having these double floors. So in this building in particular, we've got these two floors which are stone, and that's what I'm actually talking about, two floors which are stone, and that was kind of my plan for that part of it. And have more of that as we get into the more industrial area where you're going to have heavier loads on your floors, and you're going to have a heavier structure underneath that to be able to work with that. And then another comment I actually wanted to kind of pluck out was from Tomerk, and that is to do with having like a shipyard, things like that. So we need to have shipyards. I've got an area for the bigger shipyards, but we also need them for the smaller boats. So with the area of Smithshaven actually having quite a low area, especially when it kind of hits into the bay part of it, I think that's a really good idea. So we're actually going to have a bit of a shipyard. Probably not going to go with dry docks and things like that. I think we'll go with smaller ones, but we are going to have some areas where we can launch some ships, and we'll get into that in a later episode. So coming back into the build, guys, I want to just talk about the material use and what I've been thinking with this area. So I wanted to go with some more dull colours, as I said earlier, and start mixing in the more industrial looking kind of stuff, but we need to do some transitions. So what I've been looking at is the different blocks that we can actually use, and in fact I actually used the brown mushroom block in this one, and I found that acacia works really nicely with that, and it actually makes acacia look less bright orange, weirdly enough. Kind of dulls that out with the kind of contrast, but gives it enough contrast that it kind of does look like it's a bit more ornamental. And I did a really similar thing with the next building along, using the internal mushroom block. So this is the kind of the lighter one, which kind of almost looks like chipboardy type material. So I thought, you know, that will work definitely for this too. Now, what I wanted to do next to the gate is actually have like a really small little hut. Now, because of Whitecrest, it's not going to be a big port, it's mostly for the local fishermen, but it kind of makes sense to have a little guard outpost which isn't inside the walls, so you can kind of go in there. That's where the guards will actually be most of the day. If they need to go into the main towers, then they can still get to it as well, but that's the kind of area where your guards are going to be posted. They can go and talk to them, they'll be looking around there. In the cold winter nights as well, that is where they'll be chilling. So into this back area, we've got this nice like kind of area which I'm using for a kind of workshop. So we've got lots of wood around, and this will be shared between a lot of different carpenters that are actually working in those areas. And coming into this kind of marketplace area, I wanted to extend on this. So we've got somewhere where there's kind of almost like a laundrette just outside, where they'll just be washing clothes and drying them for you. A bit of a flower shop as well, so you can pick up things like that, but also some herbs will be there. I've also plonked in somebody that's actually doing like portraits and painting, because you usually see that, and a couple of different merchants, a couple of areas around the back, so that we can have some seating area for people to eat. So yeah guys, I'm pretty happy with this little area. It's like almost like a little Carpenter's Corner at the minute, and it starts to kind of dull out that colour, those bright colours that we've had in the kind of East Point district, and then start to become more industrial, less colour going in. Still having the variation though. I definitely didn't want to have loads of buildings looking the same. I still want them to all be a bit personal, and every single building in the entirety of the city to actually be different. But they're all kind of continuing onto that theme that we've kind of made before of the building style, and then we'll start to get more into these industrial buildings as we get into the rest of the area. But so far, guys, I'm already loving this kind of area that we've got here. It's going to take quite a while to expand into it, but we'll do it step by step. And as always, guys, I appreciate all of your comments, so make sure to whack those down because I'll get loads of inspiration. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.